Alright guys, so here we go again. Here it is. This is my new project car. Something that I've always wanted since I was a very young child, like teenager, 13. I finally got it. This is a 2003 Pontiac Grand Am GT Coupe. And this will be our next project car for the channel. I finally got my Grand Am Coupe, and I wasn't settling for anything less than a GT. It had to be a GT. It didn't have to be a coupe. I was actually looking at quite a few of these, trying to find a few of these, and I ended up with the coupe. So this is an 03. The body has 118,000 miles on it. The engine was already replaced once, and there's a good chance that we may be replacing it again. A few other things here and there that we're gonna have to do, but for the most part it's not in all that bad a shape. You can see the rain's really starting to come down now. The sunroof is stuck open, and ironically enough the rain is falling in that direction. We have one new headlight assembly, newer headlight assembly. The other one is still pretty foggy, so we're probably going to find another headlight, something to match closer to that one. The license plate cover for the front bumper is with the car, and in Ohio we don't need front plates anymore, so that means I can actually use that, and it's going to look awesome. As we come down here, we have one fog light. The other fog light is in the car, I believe. She said she had it. It hasn't been put on yet, so we do have a fog light. It hit something, you can tell, because you know the bumper's kind of creased in here. Kind of got crunched a little bit. It's causing the trim here to come off. We can fix that with some double-sided tape. We are going to need tires. Judging from how bald they are around the outside, it looks like we might have some alignment issues going on, so we'll deal with that. Just the slightest bit of rust forming around here. Really isn't all too bad. I can probably still catch that with some touch-up paint. The lower molding on this side is starting to come up, so I think this may need to be reapplied with some tape. I guess that's really all that held on to this from the factory was double-sided tape. You can see the side, or the window, how one side's higher than the other, so something is wrong with the track, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to fix that. The inside really isn't that bad for the age, you know. It needs a good cleaning, much like the the Aztec did. The dashboard really isn't curling up. A lot of these end up curling up either toward the windshield, which this one might a little bit, but not that big a deal, or they'll start curling up here. In time, this is probably going to start curling up. While I have it anyway. Here's our front license plate cover. So we'll be putting that back on the front bumper. I honestly have not explored this car a whole lot. I just got home not that long ago with it, and so we're kind of going to do this together. Probably going to get rid of the steering wheel cover because I'm not a fan of steering wheel covers. So, like I said, 118,458 miles on the body at least. Maybe the transmission too. I'm not going to start it yet because, well, you'll see why when we actually do start it. So we got cruise. I think the button is either broken or stuck. So we got our fog light controls, auto dimmer. I didn't check to see if all the illumination is there, but it looks like it is, so that's awesome. No burnt out bulbs on the cluster at least. That's good. As you can see though, we do have the burnt out stereo buttons. A typical Pontiac thing. So this one does have the Monsoon sound system with the CD and cassette player, which is awesome. It's kind of cool to have both. Cubby space, cup holders, leather shifter with the grip. I love the grip. Manual. I think, yeah, we do have the manual. Cover's missing. Got some napkins. That's it. I have a whole 03 manual with my collection upstairs, actually. But good to know we do have a manual in here anyway. Yes, it does run, but it's not running very well. In fact, there is a chance that this engine here is complete junk. So obviously it's the 3400 V6, a 3.4 liter. Very famous engine in the GM world for several different reasons. On the Grand Am GT, it comes with ram air, which gives it an additional 5 horsepower, so it brings it up to 175 horsepower. This engine sounds like it's on its last leg. It definitely needs intake and head gaskets. As you can see, it is leaking really bad down there on the sides, and you can see it over here as well down in there. So head gaskets, intake gaskets, gone. It's done. It needs to be fixed. In fact, if you take a look at the oil cap, which is usually stuck if they're all gunked up like this one is, yep, there's our magical concoction. So contaminated oil thanks to the engine coolant, which the bottle's I think empty or close to empty. The low coolant light comes on. The nice thing, however, is it does run, obviously, and it does drive. I pulled it into the driveway off the trailer. It goes into gear, and like I said, it moves. She was still driving it for, you know, for a while, and yeah, so you guys want to hear how bad this sounds? Here we go. That definitely sounds like upper end noise. I think that'd be a whole lot worse if it was a rod knock. But it runs. So maybe it is salvageable. That's it, guys. Welcome the 03 Pontiac Grand Am GT Coupe to the channel, and stick around. We're going to try to do what we can to get this thing as I don't know, I don't want to really say drivable now because it does drive technically. You guys know what I mean though. We're gonna fix it up. Welcome to today's installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, and I want to thank you for joining me today. Today we're starting to film our very last vlog with the Grand Am. So anyway, it's March 17th. It's probably going on 7 o'clock. It's cold. The other day I was filming, you know, and it was warm. It's cold now. But tomorrow is the day that we take this thing on its last drive to its final destination. And tonight I am starting the clean out process, which is something I don't really want to do, but because it's cold. But yeah, you know, there's still stuff in here. Mostly trash, I think. Yeah. We need to clean it out. I don't really feel like doing this stuff tomorrow. So, you know, I'm out here now to kind of get it over with. I'm not gonna like super, you know, clean it or anything. There's really no point. It's going to be a shop car at the trade school that I graduated from. So this car is probably gonna be, you know, torn apart on several occasions. You know, just stuff for all the aspiring technicians to learn on. So it doesn't have to be pretty. Yeah, basically, I just want to kind of get all my stuff out of it tonight. And I might take it to, you know, a vacuum. I don't know if I'll do it tonight, depending on how much daylight we have left. But, you know, we might go ahead and just vacuum it out at best, and maybe take a Swiffer to the dashboard. But I'm not, like, going to go all out with, like, the Armor All or anything like that. I'm pretty sure I may have only done that with this car one time in the 5 years, almost 5 years that I've had it. And she cleaned up well, but, you know, in the time since then, the inside of this thing has really kind of fallen apart. And it's mostly, you know, you guys have been paying attention to this, you know, in all these vlogs. But, you know, the sun, since I've had the car, has definitely taken a toll on the damage, or on the dashboard. And unfortunately, you know, she's just kind of you know, losing her luster on the inside, unfortunately. Okay, I had to start it up and get some heat going here, because it is really cold, guys. It got colder since I've been home from work. So, alright, so yep, I guess this is the part where I start the clean out process. And can't wait to see all the stuff that I find in this car. I've got some CDs sitting here that have been in here for a while, and one of those power steering fluids is empty. These lights have been back here for a while. There's a bottle of water, a wiring diagram, so there's all kinds of stuff. I do know that I'm missing 2 screwdrivers from my collection. I wonder if they're in here or in the trunk or something. Dua Lipa, more CDs, cassettes. I got cassettes in here because, yes, I used that cassette player because it worked fine. So, yeah. I need to go get the trash can, and I have a thing over here that should be enough to at least hold the possessions in the car to take to the house. The trunk's a whole other story, so let's go get the trash can and we'll start throwing the trash away. It's a nice collection of straw papers. You guys have probably seen this Coke can. This Coke can has been in that cup holder for a very long time. And you know why? Even though it's been empty? Because anytime I had something in here, it kept it from sliding out. Because if you had CDs or something stacked up in there and you go to like hit the gas and stuff, they would slide out and fall on the floor. So I always kept this Coke can in there to keep that from happening. I got another pocket screwdriver here. This is a new pack of gum that I bought not that long ago, but I haven't driven the car, so I wonder if it's still good. It probably is. I mean, it's just gum. Here's another camera tripod piece. This thing sucked. I might just leave this in the car. Whoever wants it could take it, but it's supposed to be a Bluetooth thing. You plug it into your lighter, and yeah, so then you're supposed to tune the radio to whatever station, and it's supposed to pretty much Bluetooth over a radio that doesn't have Bluetooth. It's got a couple USB ports on there. it doesn't sound too good. You know, I tried it and it just really didn't sound too good. It was only a couple dollars at like the Dollar General, so it's really no big deal. I'm just gonna leave it here. These are the door reflectors. Never really got a chance to keep those from coming off. We have a dead watch battery or remote battery here. This was my makeshift diagram for the speed sensors when I was trying to track down the issue for this particular wheel speed sensor here. And my printer ran out of ink, so I had to draw in the rest of the diagram as best as I could. So we do not need this anymore. We're gonna throw this out. Alright, so down here we have plastic bags, Harbor Freight bags. I was probably gonna use these for trash at some point, so we can really use it now for all the little stuff. Oh, I got more change in there too. The power steering fluid has to stay. I'm probably leaking all of it out as we speak since the car is running. But this one's empty, so we can throw this one in here. This one is not empty. I had it in the bag, so that way the you know, the fluid doesn't spill out of it or anything. Here's some trash, receipts. Get rid of all this. This is the dashboard. All the plastic from the dashboard up here that exploded a while ago. It's still sitting down there. It's definitely broken off a lot worse. Throw that away. My screwdriver from work that completely broke apart. I'm really sad by that. I really liked that screwdriver. I don't think it's warranty, unfortunately, at this point in time. The new Spirit Box CD is the last CD to be played in the Grand Am. Take out all these cassettes. Now, the cassettes, you're gonna be surprised when I say this, I bought these brand new. Because the place that I used to go to when I was a kid to actually buy cassettes, well, believe it or not, he still sells them. Some of these I actually tried to keep the wrapper on. So I went in there the one day and I just found a bunch of albums that I liked still on cassette that he had brand new, and I bought them. Now, whether or not they're still good now because they've been sitting in here for so long, I don't know. I think that's the horn fuse. I'm afraid to plug it in. Oh, hear that? We're about out of fluid already. I knew that was gonna happen. But anyway, yeah, I'm afraid to plug it in because this thing might still be stuck. So I don't really want to plug it in. We'll leave it there for now. The glove box, of course. We got more nonsense. There's the Swiffer that I'll probably use to wipe up the dash. I'm going to... Oh yeah, I found that at the junkyard. I do want to keep that. This emblem here. But I'm going to let them keep the torn apart owner's manual. I have a nice, you know, a nicer version of this manual in the house, so we don't have to worry about losing anything from our collection because that thing is all torn up anyway. So that's the one that came with this car. This is a water pump gasket that we didn't need because I bought one, so we'll just throw that away. Napkins. Here's an aux thing for the iPhone. We definitely want to keep that. Oh, here's the box for that thing. We got some more other little things in there. That's the seal for the crank pulley. I'll leave that there in case that's something they want to tackle. I'll make note of that to them. Oh, here's another thing that I tried as far as digital media. Do you remember the old cassette adapter? Yeah, this one does not work that well. So when it played, the tape, it would kind of spit out after a while. So I don't know if this thing locks up or something, but it gives the radio an error and it spits the tape out. Alright, so the glove box is all emptied out. The only thing I left in there was the manual and that crankshaft pulley seal. So that thing's done. Got another Coke can here. This one wasn't supposed to stay back here, but it ended up back here. Alright, so I think we're done on this side. There's nothing else under that seat. Now we have to go over to the other side. I ended up pushing this door back a little too far this time. Oh yeah, I really messed that up. Lots of straws. Could be saving them because straws do come in handy sometimes, but no. I guess it's time for us to finally pick up all these dashboard pieces. Not sure what that is. Oh, looks like a piece of fiber tape from a wiring harness or something. Poor dashboard. Poor car. Yeah, look at her. Just it really makes me sad. Oh, my snap-on meter box. Well, I don't think we need this anymore because it's all messed up and faded from the sun. Not sure who this belongs to. That was probably supposed to go back to somebody. Oh, that's where those went. These are my little Allen keys. And here's a piece of my belt tensioner tool. Yeah, here's the other set of Allen keys. Oh, these lights. These have been back here for a while. Honestly, I don't remember why. But they just were. Oh, the horn diagram. Oh, and another straw. Yeah, guys, I pushed the door back a little more because of the trying to get back there and getting all the trash, and the door was in my way. So, yeah, when I pushed it out a little too much, and I think we completely did more damage to that front fender. Sounds awful, but I'm not gonna lie, it was nice to actually get the door to open a little wider. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. I hear the thing working. Remember, we had a problem with this. Maybe it's just stuck. Is it stuck? Uh-oh. 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 I hear it trying. Uh-oh. See? Uh-oh. Alright, let's try the key. Let all the heat out. Oh, okay. That was weird. Alright, most of the stuff back here, for the most part, is trash. You guys like my collection of used oil jugs? Believe it or not, these were all full at one time. Oh, this one's kind of full right now. Alright, what happened here? Why is that? Did that bend? Now that we got it open, let's see what happens. Okay, so she shuts. Oh no, there's something up. Something is up with the trunk latch all of a sudden. Huh. Okay, so we latched it. Nope. I bet it has something to do with the water. Like I said, the water running down the side of the dashboard probably killed something in that circuit or something. Even, or is the latch just being weird? Does that thing work? It does. It doesn't look like it wants to retract all the way though. I don't know. Okay. Alright, so we got those out. Yeah, I had to think of what that was from. We need that. This is the remote start and aftermarket alarm thing that we had to take out when we first bought this thing. I think I already got rid of most of the wiring. What's this? These are specifications, torque specifications, for probably when I was doing the intake and head gaskets. So we could throw those away. The pieces of wood back here, those are still good. We're keeping those. This is the brake hose that we did not put on when we did the front right caliper. I should have done this, but I did not. So this is something that maybe they can tackle in time. Here's another one of those vacuum attachments. We got some more receipts and such. An old glove. A marker. Probably don't even work. This is the floor mat from the front. It was up there until the water started leaking. Not entirely sure what that is. Window channel, probably from the driver's door. Here's a piece of the Grand Am itself that rotted away. Here's the box for the spark plug wires. What else is in this? Anything? Probably all trash. Yeah, that's in there. Oh, here's the little button. This was the button that somebody had drilled into this light switch here. It must have been like a kill switch or something from a while ago. But when I took it out, it was attached to nothing. So somebody had already disabled it, but they never took the button out. So we took care of that. That was one of the first things we did to this car, was find another bezel piece without the hole. So it looked obviously so much nicer. This is a valve cover gasket. I don't think this one's ever been used. Wow. Alright, so that's the first time this trunk has been completely cleaned in a very long time. I think that's it back here. And I cleaned out everything up front. Yeah, maybe we'll go ahead and take it to the vacuum tonight and get it over with. We'll go for one more night drive with it, and then get it all ready for tomorrow. Alright, that'll shut up after a while. Oh yeah. We gotta take this thing. Because we just have to. There we go. We have to keep it with our collection of the other ones that I have. And this one is, you know, obviously particularly special because that came from the one that we've actually owned. It looks like the ABS wants to cooperate for this drive for now. Ooh. That steering's still a little rough. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She'll be okay. Once we get a few good turns in, it'll the air will be bled out as it is bleeding itself. I'm probably gonna have to go buy another oh yeah. I'm gonna have to probably buy another power steering fluid for the trip. One of the things that I'm really gonna miss about this car is, you know, on nights where I had nothing to do, especially like during, you know, the warmer months, you know, and if I decided, you know, I was gonna jump in the car and maybe, you know, go get like a milkshake or something just to, you know, kind of kill some time and get out of the house. I used to love being able to just come out to this car on those kinds of nights. I mean, tonight's a beautiful night, so just imagine, you know, a nice night like this, only warmer outside, not freezing, and yeah, just you know, opening the sunroof, putting the windows down, and just, you know, just going for a nice night drive, you know, while sipping on a chocolate shake or something. I mean, that's something that I used to like to do, and it really reminded me, you know, I've said it many times before, how much this car means to me, not just, you know, because of the car itself, but just the nostalgic factor. And it always reminded me of when I was still a teenager with my very first car, which was a Pontiac Sunbird coupe. And I think it's just the coupe aspect, you know, having a two-door, and just something about it, you know, it made me feel, you know, it just brought out that teenage, you know, freedom feeling, you know, that freedom feeling you get when you have your first car, and, you know, and that's one of the things that I'm really gonna miss, you know, about this. One of the things I'm really gonna miss about this car. Also really gonna miss having the orange Pontiac interior lights. I love the red orange so much. Well, against my better judgment, I figured let's go ahead and take it through the car wash one last time. She has not been washed in a very long time. I was always just, you know, worried about the sunroof leak, so this is just the cheap wash. Maybe, you know, it'll look pretty decent for delivery. I hope this was not a mistake. Actually, more importantly, I hope that trunk stays closed. Drive forward, drive forward, drive forward. Whoa! Alright, turn that. And yes, I chose the one with the party lights. Ooh, we haven't done this at night yet. So hopefully, since the car is not going to be sitting long, all of this stuff will go to the back. Wow, that was violent. Oh my word, it's coming back. Oh, is it? Maybe not. Okay, this bought free rinse now. Holy crap, that was very turbulent. We got water here. It probably is making its way down that side, but once the car starts moving, it should take the drains in the back. But I think that's probably it. That was a pretty quick wash. That's really fun at night. Should do that more often. And I didn't do the dryer or anything. It was just the cheap wash. She's gonna air dry. All right. Now let's go to the vacuums. Well, at least out here in the dark anyway, I mean, it looks pretty good. Didn't get all the soap off, but that's okay. Yeah. It's sitting on a hill, so hopefully a lot of that stuff in the sunroof will end up traveling downward. I need to go get some quarters. The water's starting to come through the carpet now from the sunroof. Oh look, just sitting here, the ABS decided to quit working again. All right. Well, of course it's too dark to see, but I mean, I'm sure it looks pretty good. I'll have to dust off the dashboard tomorrow. I'm gonna have to put a little bit more gas in it, so I'll do that next. And I think that's it. Let's go ahead and head out. More gas in it than I really wanted to. So I figure I may as well just go ahead and cruise around for just a little longer. Maybe try to get all of the or most of the water to, you know, dry off. So we're just going to enjoy the last official night drive, I guess. But I'm getting ready to head back to the house now. So this was pretty much it, the last night drive. Man, I'm really gonna miss the orange gauges. All right, so that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, everyone, today is the day. It is March 18th, 2025. We are saying goodbye to the 2003 Pontiac Grand Am GT. I can feel the sadness coming when I woke up this morning and realized that this is the day that I'm going to drive that car for the very last time. And once it leaves the driveway, I'll never see it in the driveway again. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things to that car that I'm really gonna miss, and I can't believe that I'm actually at the point now where we're getting rid of it. So we are gonna do one last recap of the car here in a little bit. We're going to drive it out to the park. It's a little after 9 o'clock in the morning here. It's still kind of chilly outside. It's supposed to actually get warmer later, but we're going to take it to the park for one last time. We'll do one more walk around as we do, and I'll give a brief sermon about the car, as I always do. And then from there, really we drive it to the trade school and sign everything over. We've got our title here, and I also printed out the list of everything that I repaired on the car. This is something that I've read off to you guys so many times. I'm honestly not going to read it all off today because, you know, there was quite a bit. The last 4-year video that I made on the car, which, you know, was, oh, I forget, vlog 449 or something like that. Anyway, so that vlog where we talked about the 4-year ownership, I read off the entire list again. So if you want to know everything that has been done to the car at the 4-year mark, just watch that because I recap all of that. The only 2 things that were added to the list after the 4-year mark was the driver's front ABS sensor connector. That was $3 from the junkyard. And then the front passenger side wheel bearing, wheel hub, that was $35. So those are the only 2 things that I have replaced since our 4-year review of the Grand Am GT. Another thing that I added to the list for them is all of the current stuff, you know, that I need them to know about. So, yeah. And then I got the keys ready, so I'm giving them the original ignition key that came with the car, and I labeled them for them because there are 2 keys to this car. The ignition was replaced before I bought the car, so both these keys look the same. But like an old school GM, you have to have one for the ignition and one for the door locks in the trunk. But I'm giving them this one because I'm keeping the one that I had made with the black head on it, and you know, we're gonna keep it on our Pontiac keychain as, you know, one of our souvenirs for the car. The reason why I wanted to do that is because, you know, my very first car, my Sunbird, I have the original keys for it still, and they are also on a Pontiac keychain. So I wanted to keep both of my Pontiac keys for both of the coupes that I had. A little frosty this morning. But I think the little car wash, you know, visit did it a little bit of good. Oh yeah, it really don't look too bad. Let's go ahead and do our last cold start. Not really a freezing cold start, but, you know, cold start. There we go. Alright, so before we leave, I'll go ahead and take this Swiffer and just get some more dust around. So here we are, getting ready to take our last journey in the 2003 Pontiac Grand Am GT. And, you know, I'm actually really sad by this. I've said it many times throughout my ownership of this car, throughout all of the videos that we've done on this car. This car may just seem like a normal, typical hunk of junk, beater with a heater, you know, to a lot of people. But this car was really something special to me because this was the one car that I've always wanted ever since I was a teenager. And I've told the story a million times about how my one aunt bought one of these brand new, or leased one of these brand new in 2000, and it was silver, and it was a fully loaded GT. And that car, that particular one there, is the one that really got me intrigued into Pontiac in general. As a kid who at that time was extremely fascinated by cars, and I was very, you know, I was just eager to learn a lot about the cars that were out at that time. This is the one that stood out, and I've always wanted one. And when I had my Pontiac Sunbird when I was 16 and 17 years old, I was really glad that my very first car was a Pontiac because of this car. And while I had that car at the time, this is the car that I was really wishing that I had. So this one was always a dream of mine to have, because this car, to this day, I still think is, in a way, like a timeless new classic. It was like the last Pontiac to really look like a Pontiac before GM started making everything cookie cutter style. The G6 really had nothing on this car. But like the inside, the way the dash is set up with all of the air bezels and the gauge bezels, and it's just an awesome design that you'll never see again. You'll never see anything like that in a car again. Pontiac could not recreate that. Same thing with the outside. With the GT and the ribbed cladding down the sides here, these 5-spoke wheels that I absolutely love. I'm so glad that this GT had these wheels and nothing else, because these are the wheels that I've always really liked. And the wing and the blackened taillights, the traditional Pontiac, the grille, which is opened up on the GT for the ram air, the badging. This car was amazing. This car was absolutely amazing. And I am very, very happy that I at least had one in my lifetime, as I had always dreamed. Now, honestly, I thought getting rid of the Aztec project car was tough. That one hit me really hard, because it was the first time that I'd ever actually took a car that was broken, really, really broken, and I actually got it back to life on my own. And it was the car that really got me inspired to become an automotive technician. So this car really didn't have as many issues as the Aztec did, but I still brought it back because it was still living, but it was like on its last few breaths when I bought it. And I've definitely gotten a lot of good use out of it. But we're just at the point now where she is, you could tell she's getting tired, and there are things wrong with it now where either it's something that I don't want to put money into, or it's something that we absolutely cannot fix. So you guys, obviously the power steering leak has gotten worse, and I don't really feel like investing the money into the lines. And the windshield is cracked. It was cracked, but it cracked again. I don't want to spend money on a windshield. Obviously the fender's messed up. I kind of messed it up a little bit more yesterday by accident, but it's still there. Another driver's side headlight would have had to been replaced because the fog inside of it has been driving me crazy, but those went up in price since I last bought the passenger side headlight, so I don't want to spend money on that. The clear coat on this fender in particular is starting to come apart, which was a common GM thing, but it's starting to really show its flaws there. My absolute main concern is the rust underneath the car. I do know she's getting pretty close to losing the back end, the suspension. I'm surprised it's actually lasted this long, but all of our rockers are completely gone. That shouldn't move like that. There's nothing there. And the rust is starting to poke through the paint. It's actually pushing the plastic bumper cover out right here. It's starting to push it out because the metal is becoming deformed. Some rust here showing here, but I didn't lose the gas door like a lot of these did, so I am thankful for that. It still has its gas cap door. But it is definitely getting to the point where it really shouldn't be on the road for a whole lot longer. And, I don't even know if this car is liftable anymore. I was really kind of scared to lift it on a rack because there's really not much to rack on back here anymore. So, I don't know. I I've been thinking about this for a few months. I did buy the 07 Honda Civic. And, you know, honestly, I was thinking about keeping both. But I really have, you know, just kind of come to the decision. Oh, the sunroof. The sunroof was the last straw, I think, is what did it. Because now the sunroof is leaking, not only on the passenger side in extreme water conditions, but it's leaking on the driver's side now. And it's getting into the fuse box. And I think that's why the trunk release is messed up. Because that's where all of that is. And the trunk was just open on its own one day. So it probably burned something out, or I don't know. But I've tried doing sunroof stuff before in the past on this car, and I just can't, you know, unless I really siliconed the sunroof shut. But I don't want to do that because this being the GT coupe, the sunroof open in the summertime and stuff was the whole point, you know. That was the whole point. The whole experience of the car was having the sunroof. But I made the decision that it is time. And you know, like I said, if you watch the 4-year video, you'll hear every single thing that I've replaced on this car. The only 2 things that were added, of course, like I said, was this ABS sensor connector here and that passenger front wheel bearing, which we did a few months ago at this point. So the overall, the grand total that I've spent on this car, including the price of the car and the trailer rental to bring it home, I spent a total of $2,161 on this car from 2020 up until now. So in almost 5 years of ownership, that really isn't too terrible. Granted that a majority of the repairs were done early on in 2020 and 2021. And then in 2022, we had to do the water pump and the starter. Those were the 2 major things that kind of broke on the car. There wasn't a whole lot to do in 2023 on this car. We did a few minor things here and there, and then even last year in 2024, not a whole lot. So overall, this car really has been a pretty reliable machine. A lot more reliable than I had originally anticipated. I thought for sure, you know, it was just going to be one thing after another, after another, after another. But no, for the most part, this car has been a phenomenal driver. Now, it does make me sad that, you know, the last few months, actually almost, you know, the last year, I really didn't drive it a whole lot because of some of the things, you know, that I knew were kind of wrong with it. It was probably, you know, the last few months or so, but yeah, she kind of sat for a while in the driveway. The power steering line started leaking. I knew that wheel bearing was starting to go bad. Obviously the ABS issue and a couple of other things kind of kept me from driving it as often as I would. But yeah, so I mean, after the wheel bearing was fixed, I tried to get a little more use out of it. But the power steering lines are worse, and like I said, the sunroof and the trunk and just a whole bunch of other things, you know, and it's just time. So she's going to go to a good cause. People, like I said before, who want to actually make this a living can actually learn off of, you know, the problems with this car, or just, you know, a lot of the overall, you know, the systems of the car. I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be a problem, but somebody can learn on this car, and you know, hopefully, you know, she'll continue to make a difference in somebody's lives the way that she has made a difference in mine. So I think that's it, guys. I think we are going to wrap this up, and we're going to head in the car, and we're going to take our last drive to the tech school, and from there, I will give you guys our final mileage. And that'll be the end of it. Alright folks, so here we are on the highway for the last time. You know, the last time I drove this car to the trade school was when we bought this radio in 2021. And we had to use the Tech 2 scan tool to program it to the car. So that was the last time that this car has been up this way. It's been quite a while. And ironically enough, the ABS is actually working on our last drive here. I really hope I have enough power steering fluid in that to last us. It's probably all bleeding out really bad as we speak. I am really gonna miss having a V6 car. I will probably never have a V6 car ever again. Who knows? But this particular V6, the 3400, is definitely one of my all-time favorite engines, and every car that I've had a 3400 in, I have enjoyed immensely. So that's one big thing I'm gonna really miss about this car, is the fact of having a V6 engine. Well, this is it, guys. This is the final stretch of road. Uh-oh, losing camera memory. Figures. So, yeah, this is it. This is the road that will take me to the school. Oh, I'm so sad. $135,046. This is it. That's the final mileage. That's it. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and drive it on into the shop now. Sign all the stuff over and then catch a ride home. It's been a great car and I'm really gonna miss this one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's gonna take a while to get over this one, for sure. My childhood dream car. But I've enjoyed pretty much every minute that I've had with it. Every repair has been something, you know, something to learn on, and just you know, trying to keep it on the road. But yeah, I've loved this car so much. I'm gonna miss her. My Jade. So that's it, guys. Thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. So thanks for watching. Take care.